relatively new company. We've only been trading for 4 months, and we've come a long way in this 4 months with regards to asset development and ready to create some shareholder value. What we have is a project in Mexico, in the Sinaloa state, which we acquired 4 months ago. We looked at over 100 projects in Nevada, British Columbia, and Mexico with a focus on a gold silver asset, which was drill ready. And with that, we now have our 100% controlled Picachos project, and the drills will soon start to turn. Actually, the drills are turning. Started yesterday. So what we have is a project which is drill ready, as I mentioned, and the drills are currently turning. What really attracted us to this project was the high-grade gold and silver already explored, developed, and ready to go within the project. With the asset now under development and a treasury of over $4.2 million raised in the last few months, we're ready to unlock the value of this project. We are the first company to ever drill this asset. Within this asset, there are 100 historical mines. We have fantastic access. Drill permits are in place, and the drills are, as I mentioned, currently turning. When talking about investing in a Canadian junior, it's important to know you're getting value for your dollar. The area of Sinaloa has 3 Canadian juniors operating and several others. Our neighbor to the north, Vizsla, has a $200 million market cap. Our neighbor to the south, GR Silver, has a $100 million market cap. And Brigadier Gold, right in the middle, has a market cap of about 15 million Canadian dollars. Mexico, as you can tell by some of your panelists, has been a hotspot for the last year. Junior financings have been focused on Mexico, and by this chart, you can see just how much money has been raised for gold development within the area. It's astounding, actually. Countries have their trends, and right now Mexico is definitely trending, and it's a good place to be. What I like as a shareholder and investor of the company is accessibility, permitting, and having it not being grassroots with lots of upside. This is what we have. There's enormous amount of previous work on the property without it being diamond drilled. That being an underground 650-meter shaft, lots of stream sediment work, lots of sampling, and we can access it. Everybody knows where Mazatlan is. A short 3 to 4 hour drive from Mazatlan, and you're on site. So it ticked all the boxes, and we're happy to have moved extremely quickly from acquisition to drilling, and are ready to unlock the value for our shareholders and investors. Grade is king. That's an old saying by many money executives, but it's true. Historically, this project has had astounding gold grades and silver grades from within the shaft and within some of the past producing areas of the project. So we're chasing high-grade silver and high-grade gold. We've seen extreme continuity in previous work, and this is what's leading us to our current drill targets. Again, all the veins which have been explored are open at depth, and they've never been drill tested until we are now currently doing this. These are just some photos on site of the previous adit/shaft sunk into the project. An adit and shaft of this size and magnitude is actually a large drill hole, you could say. It's given us a very representative look of what the project can be and what we're going to develop it into, which is a high-grade silver gold asset. More photos. Photo on the left is of Michelle. Michelle Robinson is our qualified person and the person who's running development of the asset. She has lived in this area for 20 years. She's a Canadian geologist, and without the right person on the ground, picking the drill targets, deciding where to step out, how to guide it, and making in-field decisions, you're gonna run into trouble. But with Michelle, the project's in definitely the right hands on site. More photos for the geologists in the crowd and in the audience. And some fantastic mineralization has been observed within this project. I encourage everybody to visit our website, brigadiergold.ca, to do a little more homework and research into some of the previous work. Look at that work, look at some of the results of our neighbors north and south, and you'll see that we're starting right now from where they were last year. Vizsla was 20 cents last year, and it rose to over $2 a share recently. And they started by drilling underground workings. This is what we're doing as well. We're drilling underground workings. The Picacho's asset has had extensive stream sediment samples. There are various areas of anomalous gold and silver. Stream sediment samples do not need to be high in value to provide drill targets, as we all know. But within our asset, we're very comfortable with the overlying stream sediment data, with the mapping data, and with the underground workings that we're going to have some good success over the next coming months with our drill program. Well, our team is everything. Again, it's on our website. Myself, I've been involved in the business for 30 years. I put a couple of projects into production, financed a lot of assets, and I have to say, I've never moved as quick on assembling a team, an asset, and the financing and getting the drills turning in my career. So I'm very excited what the next couple of months is going to bring to the shareholders. You can see that we have a very quality team. Oscar Mendoza is our senior advisor in Mexico. He's ex-Morgan Stanley and brings a lot of depth into government relations. I will say we have all the permits in place, all the social permits are in place, and we're working in an area where they want us to be. There's Michelle's resume. She's the person who I mentioned is leading the asset on site. So in summary, we have a capital structure which is a $15 million Canadian market cap. We have an adequate treasury to see us through drilling in 2021, and we have drills on the asset working. So in the next 30 to 90 days, shareholders can expect some results of the drilling, some comments from myself and Michelle as to how the drilling is going, and some value being created within the public company. Thank you very much. I'm open to questions, and I encourage everybody to visit our website and follow along. It's not often you get a company which has moved so fast to drill targets, of quality drill targets. So I'm comfortable. The story is going to be interesting for all of the people listening to this conference.
Thank you, Ranjeet. Let's start off by a few questions here. This question is from Max. Do you know anything regarding the permitting process? Like, are the personal relationships necessary for that, or is more streamlined bureaucratic policies? How does that work in Mexico?
I believe it's a bit of both. Michelle has been working on this project for 10 years. So when she pulls up on site and deals with the locals, it's a friendly, familiar face. So it's an easy procedure to get permits in place, mining permits, drill permits, but the underlying social acceptance of you being there is most important, and we definitely have that. We have all government permits in place and all the social permits in place, and we're very welcome to be there.
The second question from Fanny Poon here. Are there local artisanal miners working in the area? Do you know?
Within our asset, there are no local artisanal miners. are surrounding us. There are some, of course. It's a very prolific area. But within our asset, we have 160 small previous producing mines, and everybody respects the permitting and the rules and the regulations. So within our asset, there are none.
This question coming from Donnie is talk about your shareholder base, your IR. Have you begun to talk to institutional investors yet?
That is actually a very interesting question. Institutional investors have made a lot of money off our neighbors, Vizsla and GR Silver. Their shares have gone up 1,000%. So they're watching us. I believe some are shareholders. And when we start to pull out our drill results, and probably the first results will be in early November, I would imagine that discussions will get more serious. But we are on what's called the radar screens of the institutional investors currently.
Great. Another question from David. I see you show a comparable with Vizsla, which so far has a one-hole wonder. Is there a potential to hit high grades like them?
Most definitely. We believe that one hole wonder is an interesting word, but you have to start somewhere. There is potential we're going to hit comparable grades. It's the same system down south, and we believe that we're doing everything we can to hit the one hole wonder hole, but then most importantly, follow that hole up with systematic step out drilling to get a resource and some commercial success.
Yeah, that's a great answer. You always have to start with the first spectacular hole first.
That's our plan.
Yeah, yes. And next one coming from Edward. What's your exit strategy and the time frame?
Well, the exit strategy, if we are extremely successful in the current drill program, I would imagine that there's going to be some merger and acquisition discussions in early 2021. We are working for the shareholders of the company. Whatever makes the most sense for current shareholders is an angle we're looking at. We're not looking at jobs for ourselves. It's all about the locals down there and the shareholders. So we'll be looking at some discussions in early 2021 based on the drill program.
Good. And this one is, he wants to know a bit about your background from Singapore for your connections there. He said, are there opportunities to bring in some Asian capital through your Singaporean experience?
Yes, I lived 20 plus years in Singapore. Recently, we relocated back to Vancouver. Yes, we have some shareholders in Asia from Singapore currently, and Singaporeans generally aren't overly junior mining investing oriented, but we have some, and as well as some from Hong Kong and Beijing and Shanghai as well. And we're going to look to expand on that. They're a little more conservative, so let's get some good drill results first, and then we can further discussions.
Yes, so maybe you can sort of elaborate a bit. This one is from the Chinese feed. Somebody, Austin, asked you in the near term, in the next little while, what kind of news does investors look forward to?
We want to share our story with investors as it unfolds. So that means regular news. I would say the first drill update will be in early November. And then I want to explain what's happening every few weeks to shareholders. So we could have some news in between about different zones discovered, but we intend on having a steady flow of drill results news, which is a proven method to engage audience and increase shareholder value, especially if they're good results.
Yes, this question coming from David. Adds any royalties on the property?
Warranties?
No, royalties. Royalties.
Oh, royalty. Yes. The underlying owners have a 2% royalty. What's interesting is they make all their money off the royalty. Our deal with them is we have 100% ownership in exchange for $4 million in expenditures in some shares based on commercial success. But the 2% royalty held by the owners, which is Michelle, it's a Canadian woman, is the owner for 10 years, has her extremely incentivized to make the asset work, and her royalty very valuable.
Okay, I think that's about it for array of questions. And Thank you for your time for answering all those from the audience.
It was a pleasure. I would look forward to coming back and updating your audience further with what everybody wants to see, positive drill results. So become a shareholder now and wait for those drill results.